Hey everybody, Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are back for another vintage challenge. And today we're bringing back an old friend with a new twist. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to be running a HollowVine deck again. This is a deck I've put a lot of time in, but really haven't played it consistently for approximately about a year now. Um, the spice changed from the HollowVine deck to the HollowGast deck, mostly based on the back of the Black Splash being able to remove problem cards like Deathrite Shaman. Um, and this is one of the deficiencies of this deck. However, with the recent printing of Blazing Rootwalla, this really fixed a lot of problems in this deck. And first and foremost, what having 8 Basking Rootwallas in your deck does is it really smooths out what you have to discard. Quite often there's a push and pull when you tap your Bazaar as to what you want to put into your yard and what you don't. And Basking or Blazing Rootwalla really helps shore that up. Because you're very happy to discard that, the root wallas. In addition to that, it allows me to play a pet card of mine, which is Pyrokinesis, which I tried a number of times over the last couple of years, but basically the only card you could pitch to it was Squee, and a friend of mine did have some success with it, more so than I did, but ultimately it was challenging to play, and adding 4 more red cards into the deck makes playing Pyrokinesis much more viable. And so this is what I'm going to try for the main deck. I'm really, my testing of it has been really consistent, and I've liked it a lot over the last couple days. In the sideboard, you will see some new cards as well from Modern Horizons, Endurance being one of them, and Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. Really, I'm just testing them out to see how they go today, and it looks like our match has started, so let's get in. And we've loaded up Fingers. I believe Fingers is a bug player, so right off the start we're going to be tested here. Unfortunately for us, we'll see how we do off the Bazaar here. This is definitely a keep, but there's a strong likelihood that we're going to get our Bazaar wastelanded possibly. And unfortunately, we might not be able to get both Rootwallas going or Vengevines going because we can't discard 4 cards. But regardless, this is a keep. Hopefully we can find a second Bazaar or a Noxious Revival is really what we're looking for here. Unfortunately for us, we are on the draw. They've kept 7, and we've kept 7. So this looks like it's probably going to be, well, I was going to say a turn 1 Deathrite. Wow. Let's hope that it is not a Leovold. Leovold would really suck here. They can do all sorts of nasty stuff to us here. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult start for us, I think. Unfortunately, we don't have a Mindbreak Trap in hand. That would have been nice. We do have 3 main deck Mindbreak Traps. It looks like we've picked up the aggro side of the deck, and Tarmogoyf is a problematic card for us. Very interesting that my opponent did not tap their Mox Jet here. I think that might have been a mistake on their part because now they've shut off their Mox. The Tarmogoyf? Yeah, you see, now they're realizing they did not tap their Mox, and so that's a really big mistake on my opponent's part. There's that Mindbreak Trap. So a hollow one would be nice. We did not do very well there. I'd like to get rid of both Vengevines, but unfortunately we just are not going to have the option to do that. There is a world where we could wait, but the problem with that is if we get wastelanded, I don't think that's going to work out in our favor. So we have to take advantage of the opportunity while we have it. If they don't have a wasteland, I think we're we're looking good anyways. Um, Obviously not keen to turn their mocks off. I'm just thinking, do we want to attack here? My gut says no. I think that was important, turning their mocks off last turn. It was obvious the opponent was trying to cast something and they couldn't, and they may have kept a hand based off of this Black Lotus and their mocks, having a very strong turn one. So I am just going to sit back for this particular turn here. We can attack in next turn if need be. Now we are very vulnerable to a wasteland here, and this may backfire on us if we get wastelanded. So they've just conceded. Wow. I think that was a very premature concession from my opponent. Of course, I don't know what they had in their hand, but yeah, we were 100 miles away from drawing something that mattered there. Okay. So we are playing against Bug, and that's why we have all of these pyrokineses. I'm also going to bring in Library of Alexandria. Library, when you get wasted, when you get your wasteland on your Bazaar of Baghdad, quite often with this deck, you're just playing draw go for an awful long time, and Library is going to allow us to draw more cards doing that. In addition to that, when you do get up to 7 cards, there is a world where you're discarding, and we've got a Benjamine or 2 in our yard, and Library of Alexandria would allow us to discard Root Wallows from our hand, 2 of them. At a time, perhaps, right? Because in your upkeep, you're at 7, you draw a card 8 and off your library, and then you draw your card for your turn, putting you up to 9 cards. End of turn, you can discard 2 Root Wallows, animating Benjamines. So I do like that. Now, Bug, I don't really think Endurance is very good there. Caracas can be okay, but I don't think it's really where I want to be. I think against Bug in general, Force of Vigor is not very good. So I think we can cut back on Force of Vigor. Where I think you want to keep a couple of them just in case, because some people do run Leyline of the Void. Most do not, though, out of Bug. And so I think it's kind of a, you want to hedge a little bit if you're able to support it. You never know. Some people bring in things like Pithing Needles. Now, we can definitely cut some Stonecoil Serpents. Another thing I didn't talk about earlier was the addition of the Blazing Root Wall allows me to run a couple extra creatures, therefore increasing my density of being able to get Benjamines into play. Better get going here. And I think Yavimaya Cradle could be okay as well to help pay for Tabernacle. Just an extra land in our deck. So what is not very good here? I don't think Mindbreak Trap is very solid. I think Chalice of the Void on the draw is very poor. So this has left us some space for maybe we if we can squeeze Stonecoils in, there's a chance I could possibly cast them. What don't we need here? I'm running out of time here. Maybe I'll cut a Force of Negation. Let's try that. Sorry guys, I got jabbering away there and ran out of time, but Stonecoil Serpent is a card that Bug has a lot of difficulty managing. And there is a world where we have a Gaia's Cradle down with, a number of creatures or whatnot, and they begin the game with 7. And where you can just cast a really big Stonecoil off Gaia's Cradle or something like that. It's just going to go all the way. I can speak firsthand as a Bug pilot. Stonecoil is definitely difficult to deal with. So this is a mulligan. Yes, we could sit on Library, but I don't like that plan. Okay, we took a bit of a hit here, unfortunately, but I think that's okay. So there we go. Let's see how we do. A little bit unfortunate mulliganing to 4 here, but it does happen. one of the reasons I inevitably ended up moving away from HollowVine and playing Bizarre decks in general was I just really got sick of the mulliganing. It was just it got really bad near the end for me, and so needed a bit of a break from the Bizarre strategies. And today, with these new printings, I'm excited to have an opportunity to play Bizarre again. Interesting that my opponent is keeping Collector Roof, and I think this is likely inexperience on their end. Like, once again, they have put themselves in a position where they're shutting off their Mox Diamond. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It's just very interesting that my opponent's doing that. But anyways, we're pretty vulnerable here. That Wasteland is going to do some work for sure, but ooh, so close. So close to getting to go off. This is really difficult. I mean, we got to get rid of Squee, we got to get rid of Vengevine, and I unfortunately think I have to discard the Cradle here. I mean, I guess I could keep Pyrokinesis. I think I'm going to keep the Cradle and ditch that. Because what this sets us up to do is, I mean, first of all, I mean, Noxious Revival is just the key here. See if my opponent makes a move here with a Surgical or something like that, but I don't think I'm going to wait here. I think I'm just going to try and put the Bizarre on top and see if it gets there, and it does. Okay. So that's good news for us. Another Wasteland. Hey now. That is not very nice. Okay. I think I'm going to wait a turn. I'm going to play the Cradle out here and give myself some insulation from Tabernacle, and also I'm going to go one card deeper off the top of my library, which I think is good. Oh, unfortunately they drew a forest there. So bizarre, these Collector Roofs. Okay, come on, Rootwalla. Well, I am getting beat down here. I think I can take another 4 damage here. I'm going to try and remove them off. Oh, what am I doing? I went for the wrong land. Oops. That wasn't very good, was it? To be clear, I was going after their Underground Sea, but had I thought about it a little bit more, I should have gone after their Wasteland to ensure that my Bizarre gets to hang around. But anyways, that's okay. It's not a terrible line, but it's not ideal. So there we go. So what we're looking for here is the ability to get another Bizarre or a Noxious Revival. We did not find it, but what we did do potentially is set ourselves up to cast a Serpent. So let's see how this goes. I mean, I have a feeling that we're just going to get our Cradle maybe Wastelanded perhaps and get hit with the Tabernacle. That is definitely a possibility. But we do have a Squee going. The problem is what if they have that tabernacle? The snake does allow us to recoup. The tabernacle is pretty painful for them too. This is just an opportunity for me to cast a snake, but I don't think I'm going to. I have a strong suspicion, like based on what my opponent has done here, that they just have a tabernacle. Maybe not, I don't know. Yes, so they do have a tabernacle here. So my suspicion was correct. And I'm glad I played that the way I did. I was very hesitant to do it that way, but of note, if they play a tabernacle here, they will lose one of their collector roofs. They did not attack. How interesting. I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, I'm bizarring here. I wonder if they just have a Tarmogoyf here. They want to double block my my guy. I mean, I'm talking. Yeah, so they want their mocks back. So what we can do next turn is we actually can get our cradle back if we so desire. I mean, that's a little bit risky. Mindbreak trap. So that makes some sense. How badly do I want this squee? I could Noxious Revival it back to the top. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a gamble here. I feel like me being able to generate some level of card advantage is one way of winning here. Okay, so they've got my yard. I think that's okay. They're down to one card. Gush is a pretty good card to pitch if you're looking at my opponent's deck. Okay, so they're struggling on land. I am going to Bazaar here. Let's see what we can find. I'm not really wanting any of these. Let's take a peek and see what my opponent's doing. I'm down to 6 life. I haven't even realized how far my life total has fallen here. All right, I mean we got a chance. We gotta hope our opponent bricks a bit, but I think, well, I was just about to say I'm going to start churning. My opponent obviously was looking for um, a blue source here. This is just a treasure cruise. Yeah, shucks. This probably could put them into a death rate. Or a cage. Okay. I mean, I don't feel like cage matters that much. That's a lot better for us than something like a death rate. Um, I kind of want to keep them off that black source. I think I'm going to counter that. And this is going to allow me to Bazaar, end of turn, and on my upkeep. I haven't decided if I'm going to Wasteland yet or not. I feel like my opponent, I mean, they could have another land in hand, I have no idea. Okay, that was great. That's why you do that. Once again, having those extra root walls in the deck really does help. So I don't, unless I draw another land off the top, I don't think I'm incentivized to Wasteland here. I mean, it would be a gamble. I mean, I just died a Tabernacle, right? That's the problem. I think I'm going to gamble here. This is a really difficult situation. I feel like leaving them with the mana source here. Let's think about this. Like, what am I scared of? Leovold doesn't do it. Tarmogoyf doesn't do it. The problem for me is I am also at 6 life here. But I can replenish if they leave my Bazaar alone. This is a gamble, and Tabernacle does ruin me pretty good, and probably will cause me to lose this game. I'm not refuting that, but I think my opponent being knocked off their land is really good for us. So this is a position where you know, it looks like things may have worked out in that regard. As long as my opponent does not find a Tabernacle here, I should win this game. And my opponent may not have any other land to do anything. So it was a gambit, and hopefully it paid off for me. And it did. So this is one of the interesting things, guys, when you're playing this deck. You know, there are Bazaar pilots out there that will tell you, you know, you don't ever use your Wasteland on when you're in a winning position and you wait on a Tabernacle. That is not necessarily always true. You know, this was an instance where my opponent did not have any other blue mana. I took them off it. They did not actually have the Tabernacle in hand, and as a result of that line being aggressive, I did win this game. Who's to say that they didn't have a cantrip or something they could do with that blue mana? So I'm not sure if I'm articulating this right, but sometimes you have to go with your gut and be aggressive, and as a result of doing that, that did win me this game, I feel like, versus being playing on the conservative side of things, and waiting for a tabernacle to come down, not wastelanding. So, anyways, I think it was a good win. If you guys are enjoying the videos, remember to hit the like and subscribe button.